And in this, it's like public education. It's or a hospital. Like, should we build a hospital?
No, just the one. Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, they're just gonna get drunk in it. Like,
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Welcome back to Limousine. We're in a fun new setup, so we'll see how this works.
It's a bit of a three-way, we've got 3 people on the couch. That has never happened in the history of this podcast.
Totally.
In all our time doing videos, even.
It's our first time having 3 in a room on a couch on video in one place.
So please tell us what you think of this frame.
Yeah, give us feedback about this. Mind you, we live in New York, so don't get crazy.
The thing that I'm thinking about is like, when people are talking, should I like turn my head?
No,
I know, like you're in a tough position.
Or is that gonna like look weird? But then I'm like.
But it's also hard with you have the mic. I think that will work for that.
Yeah, so
because
true.
you can.
So that helps.
Yeah.
I think you do whatever feels natural in your soul.
Yeah.
In our
I don't want people to think I'm not listening to that. Because I think that my
that you're not listening
instinct,
to them.
No.
Yeah, because they can.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My instinct is to be like, oh, if I look at the screen, I can see both of you at the same time. But then it's like I'm not being an active listener. I'm not like looking like I'm.
Adlan, we know
We'll
you.
recognize
and
no.
we know that
You are
you're
an
actively
active
listening.
listener.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
If you haven't met Adlan before, if you haven't listened to our interview with Adlan, maybe pause and go do that, or go back to it later.
Go back.
And you can kind of hear his whole story, because we're not going to get into all of that today.
No,
but
not today.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the people on the pod?
Hi, everybody. I'm Adlan Jackson. I am a writer at Hellgate. It's a local news publication in New York City.
A hilarious one.
One of the, I would say, maybe the best
I
to
love
do
it
it right
over there.
now.
Very much.
Come on.
Thank you very much.
And worker owned.
And worker owned.
Which we'll get into today.
There's a lot of discourse about, ownership of enterprises. And we're going to talk a lot about that.
Say that.
Yeah. And just the value of work in general and what it can do to transform your soul.
And Russia will take you there every time.
Russia, and one thing about Russia,
They love that.
They love that.
They're really, they
the
think a lot
journey
about
that they're on.
Yeah.
Wait, Adlan, also mention your band.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget.
I'm also in a band. This is kind of a secret, but it's like, but it's also not a secret. I was thinking about this recently. I was like the original thing of like, I'm a music journalist and therefore I'm going to be have a pseudonym in my band. It's kind of like the rationale of that has lost its I'm like, why did I do that again?
No.
But now I'm so deep into it that I'm like, well, now it's its own thing. It's its own thing.
Its own little gag.
But
yeah. It's also impossible to have a real pseudonym. My book was supposed to be pseudonymous, and then I was like, I can't do that. I'm just gonna do a symbolic pseudonym, but it's
it is kind of a mystery, though. It's like, who could HB Akumia be?
Whoever could.
It's like, who, It's like,
I think
yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's nice to give people a little Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
A little engage, allow people to engage, allow people
So
to,
true. Something to
so,
chew on.
if you're really interested in knowing about my band, it's not that hard to figure out.
You could, go hunting, and you could find out.
Yeah.
Well, we do also ask everyone who's joining us for the Anna Karenina Book Club, which hopefully you know that you're here for today. Okay, everyone holding up their copies. Adlan, when did you first read Anna Karenina, and what was your kind of exposure to Russian literature before?
Yeah, I read it at first because we were talking about writing, and someone was like, in terms of, because I cover music scenes and very contemporary and sometimes internety stuff, we were talking about making things legible to readers who aren't hyper locked in with the internet and stuff.
Ain't that the question?
And this person was like, in the ballroom scene, when Kitty doesn't get to dance the Majorca, it's like you don't have to understand what
you don't have to know the Majorca, no,
to like feel how bad it is for Kitty that she doesn't get to do it.
No, that's so real because, okay, somebody commented on our last episode, like, I've been Kitty at the ball before. And I was like, well, yes, we all know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Robin even famously wrote a whole song about
Dancing
it.
on My Own. No, literally. It's like Kitty was dancing on her own in a way. And that's a timeless, that's so true that this is like one of the like, I don't know, best examples of what it means to like write very specifically about your time, like so hyper specifically, as I think this section is like one of the better examples of. And yet like you can graft a lot of the feelings are still timeless.
Yeah.
So true.
Yes.
Yeah, even in that like this like scene that we're gonna get to later on where they're at dinner, which is so specific to their time, there's still types of guys. Like there's types of guys at a dinner party, and like that just is.
The types of guys are forever.
Yeah. And it was like, you know, when this person told me that, there used to be this Ezra Koenig tweet that was like,
God,
it was like,
I miss those days.
Where it was like, you know, a girl that I have a crush on texted me, "Have you ever read Swan's Way? I went to the library, read it in one painful sitting, and then texted back, yeah, why?" And so after this person told me this thing about Anna Karenina, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna read this whole book and then be like, okay, yeah, for sure.
I so agree with
I get
so
it. Yeah,
real.
I really
That's
like
funny.
when Kitty's at the ball, like that's crazy.
No,
that's a crazy,
and it goes
crazy
so hard.
feeling.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because I feel like you were one of the first people who, when we were like, oh, we're thinking about doing this thing with Anna Karenina, you were like, yeah, I was just reading that. And we were like, wait, what? Like, why is everybody just reading Anna Karenina?
Yeah.
And it was like maybe this winter or something?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a great winter book. It's a
Such
great
a great winter. And summer.
Great summer book, famously.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of right for every season.
Yeah.
Kind of would be a good fall and spring one, too.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Should we get into this book?
Yeah.
Part 3.
What were everybody's feelings about this section, like overall? Like when you think back to this section, like what are the vibes you're feeling? 'Cause you know, section 2 is you're like, what, gagged.
Well, I guess the context also for the listeners is when we like texted our friends who we knew had recently read Anna Karenina, and we texted Adlan, we were like, you know, what part would you want? Everyone was like clamoring for like 2 or 5 or like some of the later ones. Adlan was the only person who was like, please give me 3. And like we were like, well, we would be glad to give it to you. Like, no one else was really clamoring for 3, so please tell us like why 3 a little.
I think it's attracted to me because it's such a Levin heavy and like Levin is, I think, such a fascinating character. Speaking of types of guys, I mean, I find him like incredibly sympathetic. I know that like not everyone feels this way, but I do like, you know, him. And like part of the like winteriness of this book, even though this is like the summer chapter, the summer section is like, it's like he like after getting rejected by Kitty, it's like he goes back to his estate and he's like Bruce Wayne,
sad
like,
boy
hours. Just like,
no.
like you know, I remember, I don't think this is in this part, but like he like is like, I'm gonna work out. Like he's literally he starts like working out with barbells, and then like someone walks in on him. He's like, oh.
He's like, I was putting those away.
And like it's like him being like, you know, my life. I thought my life was over because I got this rejection, but really, I'm just gonna lock in.
No, and like, I'm gonna lock in. No, exactly.
And it was so, like, reading it over the winter, it, like, was so resonant with, like, like, certain things that I see on TikTok, speaking of, like, types of guys being eternal, like, of, like, things on TikTok of, like, being, like, you know, no parties, no girls, no drinking.
Oh,
Please
no.
fill Saratoga water.
Exactly. It's exactly that vibe.
Like morning
It's
routine
like
down.
it's exactly that vibe of like just lock in, get in the gym.
Yeah, it's like
gonna...
rejection is fuel for your next victory or something like.
You know, when he literally like goes nonverbal with the Sith and with the scythe and the farm, it's that.
Yeah, like that part. I love that part, and like him considering, like him like being like, what if the meaning of life is just mowing grass?
Yeah, exactly.
I was so caught up in like the noble life, the life of nobility, and like
I allowed myself to get swayed.
No, exactly.
Like
my
woman's
bad.
Attention. But these females will try to trick you. You know what I mean? Like
my mistake. I don't know what I was doing in the city.
No, exactly. Like, let me lock back into my core value of scything.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, I feel like I find that sympathetic. Like, who among us hasn't been like, what if the meaning of life is just like working out?
No, so true.
Like,
what if
moving your body?
Like,
yeah.
What if every other like aspect of my life where it's like, you know, professional, like, oh my god, I have to think about like my career and like all this shit, like what if
money,
I just like went to the gym
No,
lifted shit up?
That is so true.
And like what if I like left this life behind and like just like got a job where I just use my body and I just you know,
what if I went and worked at a coffee shop? I got rid of my horrible desk job and I like Meanwhile, what does it have to do with somebody rejecting your proposal? Like nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
And also that's, as we'll get into, like, it's such a classed fantasy of like, oh my god, if I were just, you know, like lifting shit for my job, like that's how we're meant to be as men or whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as we'll get into, he doesn't want to pay his serfs or like give them education or
which I mean is how he's able to maintain this fantasy, blah blah blah. The magical Negro, the magical serf, the magical whatever person that you're looking at.
It's so
solar.
My question: do you like Levin? Do you think is he like a compelling character, one, and is he a sympathetic character?
Oh, I love this.
I have so many thoughts about this. Okay, and they're all mixed up in a bunch of different things. One is that I find him relatable. Yeah. So I'll say that straight up. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find him relatable. If you're in the Discord, you already know this, but like one of our like book club members really pulled this out of me in an incredible way, where I was like, wait, but just because he is like such a profoundly bothered person,
he's so bothered.
He's
like bothered.
He's the opposite of easygoing. Yeah. And like every conversation for him is like mission critical. Like everything, like he can't be like agree to disagree. He's like he's getting hot.
He's like, well, no, that's not how it is.
And he's like that's wrong. He's like going home, and like we were talking to somebody, like we were talking in the chat about this the night after we had recorded like a Love Island Patreon, where like I went to bed feeling like, Heather, you did what you do. You couldn't just be casual about Love Island. You had to and I was like, wait, that's so me. Like I'm so Levin for that.
That is so Levin.
Like he can't talk about anything without being like the mysticism like sends him spiraling. He's furious that people are into that.
He has to leave the party.
He has to leave the function and like. Yeah. So there's that, but like, I find him sympathetic because he's so sad and he's like so I don't know. He's like he does want to be better, but like he just has no idea how. And like I find him, he's a misogynist. Yeah, he's classist. And I like him. He's really good with kids. I don't know.
That part is sweet.
It is really sweet. And the last thing is that I do really see him as a Tolstoy insert. Yeah. And I like Tolstoy simply because he wrote this book and is talented. And like that, I'm like, I gotta rock with you on that. So
you gotta give it up.
Yeah. So those are my feelings. But Leah, I want to know what you think about Levin.
No, I did not like Levin. No. I mean, well, okay, here's the thing. On first read, I just read him so as that type of guy. Like, I think I was so all of my entry points and kind of parallels were like incel coded. And so everything I was kind of comparing him to was like, oh, like, you know, I'm just like, this woman rejected me and like I hate all women now. Like I'm just like gonna go and like I shouldn't even like be with anyone. Like I'm gonna give up on my fantasy of marriage. And it's like, please, like, actually you're a great prospect. Go get another one. Like I just like that I had a lot of trouble like, I don't know, feeling like bad for him in his situation, and he's like such a self-pitying like kind of like neurotic person. But I do think I eventually found him sympathetic in the fact that he does want to be better. Like he is on this journey of like trying to figure himself out and like trying to figure out like why he's in love with Kitty and like why he's so stuck on her and how he should be treating these peasants. And like,
he calls, I think he says in this section, he calls it like solving the riddle of his life. And like, I'm sympathetic to that idea that like you wake up every day and you think, wow, this is a fucking problem.
No, exactly. I better solve this shit.
Yeah.
But did I like him on first read? Definitely not. I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, I've come around to him.
Yeah, it like something that I was thinking about was like, you know, when you see him in society, like there's this idea that he's like generally not liked by people in the like kind of like noble society, and like at first I read it as like, oh, people like find him pretentious, or like they're like, you know, oh, there's Levin again, here goes Levin again with his like. But it's like he actually is not pretentious. He's like insanely sincere.
Exactly.
Which is really sympathetic, but he also has like an insane amount of self-regard. Like he's like
exactly.
He truly has like no humility.
Yeah.
He thinks he's right about everything.
That's why he can't relax.
Because he truly deeply believes that he's right about everything,
and he needs to be right about everything. Like if he finds himself in the wrong on something, it's gonna take him like weeks to get out of that
exactly
crisis.
Yes. He has the like whatever, he has the that high self-regard, and then like the inverse also, which is like that profound shame when he like I mean those scenes where it's like he still thinks of like moments like 20 years ago when he did something socially weird, like he can't,
where he like said the same line twice or whatever. Like I mean, I don't know. I do just think that both of you, if you met him in society, you would be annoyed. Like, right?
Well, as someone who's bothered, I would be annoyed. I wouldn't like him, but like, I would feel sorry for him from a distance.
Yeah.
You know? I'd be like, I get it.
I get it. But that level of, I think, sincerity is like almost suspect to me. You know, I'm like, you can't joke around a little. Like, please have a joke.
He never has a laugh.
Life's not so serious. Like,
that is not Levin. That's like not me.
Exactly.
That's like a very that's a non-Levin impulse I have. But
Well, should we get into what he's up to in this section?
Yeah,
because we do start with him, I believe.
Yeah, we open up with Levin.
He's on the farm.
He's on the farm.
And when is he not really? In a way.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, only when he's off to make horrible mistakes. You know?
Only
he's
when
like, really, I can't leave. He's like, I can't leave this farm.
He gets a visit from his brother Sergei, and Sergei's kind of like almost a foil for him. Honestly, everyone's a foil for Levin
in a way. Yeah, everybody who's like acting normal, you're like, oh, there's a foil.
But yeah, his brother could not be more different from him. He's an intellectual. He's kind of a communist. He's somewhere like towards the socialist spectrum, let's say. Not like very clearly defined, but he definitely cares about like collective values in society. And he's come out to the farm where he just kind of like lazes about and like thinks and talks, and Levin's like, I'm gotta work. Nobody wants to work these days.
Well, his brother's on vacation. Like Levin is like, I'm like, you know, he's like taking command of the family estate and like, you know, busying himself with, you know, running the estate, and his brother's like, I'm gonna come hang out.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm gonna hang in the countryside. I'm gonna fish.
Yeah.
Stare at the sun.
Yeah.
Think about my kind of intellectual ideals. Get in fights with you.
Yeah.
And Levin's like so fucking grumpy about
He's
it.
Really grumpy about it. He's so irritated.
Once again, he just cannot take like anything lightly.
He can't relax.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And they start arguing about bureaucracy and about basically Levin's brother Sergey is a government official, and Levin has recently left like the Zemstvo in his area, which is like the local council that helps like solve local issues like thefts and whatever. And they're just basically arguing about how much that really matters. And Sergey, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Sergey's pissed. He's like, why would you leave the Zemsto?
Yeah, he's like, you're smart, you're capable. Like, why would you leave the Zemsto? Like, do you not think that you can be effective? Like, why would you? Or do you not understand? He's kind of like, do you not get how important it is? Like, do you not understand? Which obviously offends Levin profoundly.
It's almost like a gospel of wealth ideology where he's like, like a noblesse oblige, like we're nobility. Our obligation to society is that we serve in the Zemstvo and like try to like provide for the peasants and like make a better way of life. Otherwise, all havoc will break loose. And Levin did not like it.
No, Levin is like, not only does he think the Zemsto is like kind of fake and bullshit, like he doesn't think it works. He's like, it doesn't really help solve all these people's problems, but he also seems like suspicious of the impulse to like govern other people. He's kind of just like, he thinks it's condescending, and he thinks it's like self-interested a little bit, like he doesn't fully trust his brother's impulses.
Yeah, because I mean the dynamic between the brothers is like Sergey is like an intellectual, and Levin kind of thinks that Sergey looks down on him or doesn't think he's as smart or as, and so that like, and then Levin in turn is kind of like, you are,
you're full of shit.
Yeah,
you're like, you have all of these ideals, but like you say you love the peasantry and you love this stuff, but like actually when you're around them, like you're kind of cringy. Like you're not, you just like don't get it. You don't spend any time on the farm. Like it's fake.
He's like, what do you know about them?
Yeah. Which is a recurring thing with Levin, I think, throughout this section, is like his suspicion of, this kind of pre-revolutionary, post-emancipatory, like middle ground where like the nobles are trying to like take this part in like public, these like new public organizations, and Levin is kind of like calling bullshit on that and being like, I'm gonna get back to the real work, which is running this estate and like dealing with the peasants, and yet Levin also, as we'll see, like has this. He doesn't know what he doesn't. He doesn't really know what he thinks.
No. He's kind of libertarian in this early argument where he's like, people only act in self-interest, and like I want to be left alone. I don't want to have to like deal with government, and like provide for other people, and actually like providing education for the peasants would be bad for them, and they wouldn't want it anyway.
He loves to say that. Like, why do they need to know how to read? Like, they don't need that.
But he's also, I think his judgment of Sergey to me is so like, communism is when no iPhone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, well, how can you believe that when you have iPhone? It's like when you live in the city and like it's like,
you don't know. He's like, you don't know anything about these peasants. Like, you don't even come out here. Like, how could you even?
It's like who
care
cares?
About what they do, or, like know how to govern them or whatever. Which.
But it's real. I mean, honestly, that is still a thing.
Yeah, it's fair to a degree. Like. Yeah, I mean, it is like really paternalistic to be like, I know what these musics need. Which I don't know how you pronounce that. I think it's a J sound, but whatever. You know, say it.
Oh no, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, we're speculating. We're speculating on the Russian.
But but then also like, Levin believes in himself as a noble. He just like wants to govern the peasants in a different way, but like he doesn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is like a very like has a lot of contemporary, like,
many
resonances. Yeah, where it's like, like, oh, the people who, like, supposedly believe in, like, progressivism, they are paternalistic, like, idol, like
the DSA Bernie bros. They don't even like know what they're talking about. They don't even know any poor people because they all work at Google and like whatever. And it's like, well, certainly, I mean, there's some truth to like. There's always like a grain of truth and stuff like this, but ultimately, who cares? Like, those are the right ideals.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't realize I was the Sergey. Now I want. I'm like, no way. Huh?
That's what I'm saying. I read this and I was like, well,
Right.
fuck Levin.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I also wrote, speaking of the resonances,
I was like, Levin has music friends, so he gets it. Some of his best friends are music.
It really is like it's like I think you're about to say, like, it's like New York politics in many ways. It's like
Say that.
like things of like realists versus like idealistic progressives, realists who are really like doing the real work.
No, exactly. Realists who are out there with their scythes. Like, okay, but what's wrong with the idealists? I wrote in my notes, we can all speculate on what this means because I don't really know what I meant, but I wrote mayoral parallel next to this argument. So it must have been about the mayoral primary. For sure.
Well, I mean, in New York politics, there is often this thing of like, oh, like, real New Yorkers are like more conservative than these progressive transplants who went to liberal arts colleges. Like that, like that's a continuous kind of like strain of. That's a continuous strain of politics everywhere.
Yeah. Like, oh, you really think the buses are going to be free? And then it's like, what? We can't even imagine a world with free buses?
Exactly. And it's like, is that so hard to believe or sad?
And like, right. So true. And progressives being like, you actually really don't know what's good for you. So we'll do the voting.
Yeah.
And it is, it's funny because it's like free buses, and in this, it's like, public education. It's a hospital. Like, should we build a hospital?
No,
just the one.
And it's like, oh my god, they're just gonna get drunk in it.
Which literally, I'm sure they've said about the buses. Like, they're just gonna get drunk in it.
Or I mean, like Zoran's 5 grocery stores. Five publicly run grocery stores. It's like they're just gonna steal it.
It's just gonna be
steal everything.
There's gonna be hand out
candy and seasoning salt or whatever.
Exactly. And this idea that Levin is, I guess what I was maybe referring to is Levin is saying like, I don't see anything in this that would contribute to my personal well-being, so why would I care? And I feel like that was the reaction of a lot of these kind of like billionaire kind of freakouts after Zoran's election is like, well, this is like terrifying for my personal well-being. Which question mark, but the idea that that's kind of the limit of your politics is really interesting and still prevalent.
But at the same time that Levin is kind of saying these things that we're like, well, I don't know, he also has this like kind of reverence for the music, for the peasants. And Sergei even calls him out on it. He's like, if you love the peasants so much, it's like the way you say you do, then they should have schools and like hospitals. And he's like,
period, Sergei.
Yeah. Say that, Sergei. And he's basically like, I never said I love them. I just like love them and don't love them the way I would any other man. And it's like,
I hate him so much. That would piss me off so much in an argument. Like, I'd be like, are you kidding? Like,
but it's fair. He's like, I mean, he's wrong about himself, but he's onto the right thing, which is not to say like, I love the poor, but to be like, I see the poor as also as people, you know?
No, that is fair.
You know?
But it's like, you don't want any other man to have health care? You don't want so he's just another guy to you so you can just dismiss him? Like,
well, basically, yes. Basically, yes. That is how he sees it, which there's some
there's something there.
Something there.
He definitely also doesn't fully see them as like people in the way.
100%. No.
He's just like they're just incapable of learning or like not getting drunk.
No,
Like,
yeah. He's like they're gonna get drunk. They're gonna steal shit. They're gonna
He's literally like all they know is scythe.
No.
Like that's what he's like. He's like because his perspective is like they don't want to read. He's like they can't read. They don't want to read. They want scythe. They want like they want crops. Like they want and that's.
And they don't even want that. Like,
no,
it's hard for them to even care about that.
No,
like,
exactly. Like they barely understand that. So like yeah. I mean, he's coming from like a good place in a way where he's like, what will help them materially? But like, it's like he can't imagine that they would want to, I don't know, read and write.
No, exactly. That's like so beyond the pale for him.
Yeah. Anywho.
Well, yeah. Sergei's mad at him for leaving, and Levin is just even more mad at the fact that they're having this fight. And honestly, it just makes Levin decide, like, you know what, I need to get away from this guy. I need to fuck off for a bit and do what I care about, which is the work. I need to like go out into these fields and like just be with the land.
Capital T, capital W.
No,
the work.
He is doing the work.
Yeah.
And so he kind of goes out there and he's scything, he's mowing this grass with one of the musics named Titus. And then he meets this old man and he's like so fucking charmed by the old man. He's like, you know, I can't believe like they're just like eating a delicious dinner. Like he's like this old man like has a family and like, you know, has like mash to eat and like I just like it seems like his life seems pretty good. Yeah. And he starts thinking about that. Like he just like starts off on this little journey of realizing peasants are people.
Yeah. Because I mean all as like all this like, you know, discourse is happening between Levin and his brother. Levin is also like in personal crisis. And then he's like trying to find like the meaning of life. He's like, well, I died in a way because he rejected me.
He's so
dramatic.
So yeah, I was killed in St. Petersburg. Now I need to figure out like what am I doing? Like why am I'm like I threw myself into the work of my estate, but like what is it all for? Like what I don't have a family. Like how old is he? He's like early 30s.
I think so.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants this 18-year-old so bad.
Yeah,
he needs her.
No, he needs her. But he's been rejected, and so yeah, he's like trying to think like what is the point of life, and he's feeling the rhythm. Like I honestly like there is something to the like, you know, working out thing that it's healing for him.
He has a sublime experience.
Yeah,
like,
he
really
genuinely
has
is
like a
like
religious experience.
Yeah, he ascends
through scything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Via scythe. Yeah. And he like, he even comes back and he's like, I want to start like, and he was like, I think this is an incredible regimen against all kinds of foolishness. I want to enrich medical science with a new term, Arbeitskur, which is something like work helps your brain or something kind of vibes. And it's like, oh, you're a doctor now?
No, exactly.
You did a little bit of exercise and you're a doctor now?
Suddenly you're actually an expert. This is such a trend with him where like he tries like one thing and he's like, well, I'm going to
write a book.
Oh my God. Which, you know what?
Yeah.
He is that guy.
Who among us? That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, there it is beautiful to read. Like, again, this is when I first read this, I'm like, give me a break. Like, I don't like this type of guy. But you do read about like kind of monotonous, like movement, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So
that clears his head
for a bit.
Yeah.
And they keep on mowing. He eats the mash, and he's like, "Damn, that was pretty good."
He literally gets down with the peasants, eats their mash, and is like, "Okay."
They mow the fucking knoll. They mow all of Mashka's knoll. And Sergei sees him, and he's like, "Wow, look at you go! You're you're out here with them kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also, like, he's been, like, kind of craving this for a little while. And, like, he was, like, too shy to tell Sergey. Like, he didn't really want to tell Sergey because he was like, Sergey's going to make fun of me for this, which, honestly, fair enough, Sergey.
Yeah, I would too.
And when he says he's going to do it, Sergey's like, all day? And he's like, all day. He's like, the whole day? And he's like, the whole day? And he's like, nonstop? And he's like, yeah, without stopping. Like, and they just have this, like, crazy exchange. And he's like, but you're going to have lunch. You're going to eat with them? And it's like a whole thing.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Wow.
And Levin's so happy. He's like in such a good mood about it. It honestly is me and my brother when my brother goes on a long run and I'm like, really? Like all that way? Like outside? Like in the heat? But he finds out, he comes back to the house.
Yeah.
And it kind of fixes his relationship with Sergey. Like he's kind of like, I don't even feel like arguing.
Yeah, he's like, whatever.
No, that's so true. He's like over the argument.
Yeah, Sergey tries to pick it back up and he's like, never mind.
He's like, I'm good. Which, you know what?
Again.
Growth.
Guys, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Sorry, Levenhive. But yeah, so he gets this letter from Oblonsky, basically being like, hey, could you go check on my wife?
I'm actively cheating on.
I'm cheating on my wife, but I think someone needs to go check on her.
And it ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
And you're close by, or closer than I am. She's in the country estate, so why don't you just go drop by and attend to my husbandly duties?
Oof, just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, so she basically has gone to the country because she's like, okay, it's cheaper to be out here. It'll probably be good for the kids. It's so embarrassing to be in St. Petersburg now because everybody knows I was cheated on. And in addition to that, we are in debt, and it's so embarrassing to be getting all of these, like, debt collections.
My husband is spending all my money while he cheats on me.
He's literally, like, spending us into a hole, and he's, like, still there doing it. Like, he's not even participating in what he needs to do to, like, get their debts under control, which is, like, go to the country and spend less money. He's like, actually, I'm going to stay doing it, but you guys do
that.
Yeah. So Dolly is kind of, like, I think like at her lowest point in the book, like she's like, really like because she gets to the country house and it's like not ready.
Well, because he had told her, he was like, "I'm gonna go fix it up for you."
Yeah.
And what did he do? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So she gets there and she's like, "We can't. It's like unlivable."
Like,
at least according to her.
The chickens are skinny. They can't find a lady to wash the floor. Like. It's
no eggs.
Good.
It's dusty. There are cobwebs. Yeah, no
eggs.
It's sinewy. Like it's nasty.
It's
There's nowhere to bathe. Like everything about it. She's like, I could not possibly live here.
And she's there with her trillions of kids.
No, exactly.
Like all the
kids.
What
she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of like
the cow won't produce milk. Sorry,
no, a dried up cow. Like what?
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of those movies where like it's like the city girl goes to the countryside and she's like, "Oh, hello, New York," and then like she sees it and it's like a cow mooing and it's like, ugh. No, this is what wasn't
You're
what
like,
I was
not like
expecting.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's feeling a bit mad about that, but. She decides, how am I going to make myself feel better? We haven't been to the church in forever. We kind of like have been delinquent on that. Let me take these kids to church.
Yeah. Well, she gets that lady to help her clean up the house. Like there's one lady nearby who's like, I don't know if she works in the house or she works like on the grounds or whatever. She helps them pull the house together. Yeah. She's like, okay, this is livable.
Yeah.
She is like generally having like some very complicated thoughts about having children.
Yeah.
Like she's like, was this a good idea?
No,
basically.
Literally.
Yeah, I think she's like kind of like, well, my husband is cheating on me and I'm like she feels like her beauty is fading or like whatever. And she's like, and so she's miserable. She's kind of like in this pit. And so I think there's, and this is kind of echoed by Anna later, there's this kind of like resentment of the children. But then also like, this, obviously there's a unique joy that comes that the children can provide, and like she sort of like through like going to the church and like she has like kind of an experience that like mirrors Levin in that like she finds relief in like being in public as this vision of this like perfect noble mother with these like well-behaved beautiful children. and then like she like interacts like with the peasants who are like, just admiring her, and she's like, wow, like they have like these mothers, they have like the same problems
exactly.
I do.
These mothers are mothers too.
They're just like me.
And she has that kind of, it provides her like some relief to like have those kind of like interactions with the peasantry, which I think is like, kind of like a echo of what's going on with Levin.
Yeah. There was like this really touching, I thought, moment, because you're both kind of touching on like she had these the children are like distracting her almost from her like sadness about her husband cheating on her, but they're also reminding her of the fact that like her husband's cheating on her, and like they're like the cause of the fact that she like doesn't feel beautiful anymore. But there's this moment where she's getting dressed, because she gets them dressed. She wants them to be like bathed and beautiful and look good. And she says once she used to dress for herself to be beautiful and admired. Then the older she became, the more unpleasant it was for her to dress. She saw that she had lost her good looks. But now she again dressed with pleasure and excitement. Now she dressed not for herself, not for her own beauty, but so that, being the mother of these lovely things, she would not spoil the general impression. And I thought that was like a really sad but also kind of touching description of motherhood, of like, like I don't know, that like I made these things and I want to like be like worthy of them almost. Is that depressing?
It's really, there's like, so many things in this section that you're like, is this a good thing?
No, exactly. It's like
and like it is, but it is like kind of like, oh, she's like, she's like, I no longer seek to be beautiful in the way that like a young woman is beautiful. Now I want to be this like beautiful mother. And it's like, is that, maybe that's good? I don't know.
It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a choice, right?
No,
like if she
like
could
all
be
she has.
if she could be like, like her young beauty still, she would, and be a mom, she would, but she kind of has to choose what, like, she's not as beautiful as she used to be. There's also this part where she's like talking about like how annoying it is to have kids. She's like, they get sick, and then like you get worried that one is developing like a bad character, and like it's never calm, and all of this. She says, but besides that, however painful the mother's fear of illnesses, the illnesses themselves, and the distress at seeing signs of bad inclinations in her children, the children themselves repaid her griefs with small joys. These joys were so small that they could not be seen, like gold in the sand. And in her bad moments, she saw only griefs, only sand. But there were also good moments when she saw only joys, only gold.
Aww.
I really like that part.
It's nice, but like think about like, even though
gold in the sand.
Gold in the sand. He never says like, then there were moments where the sand was very small. That's not true. That's not what he says. Like the sand is still bigger, but like there are times when she only
it just
sees
like glints
the
in the sun, it looks like gold. It's like, oh, that's really dark. But there is, we do get a glint of gold actually in a scene after this.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so sweet.
And again, like, it's one of those moments where you're like, damn, he really like is so observant about the way children interact.
Yeah, and like,
So one of the kids has like basically stolen cake, right? He like gets in trouble for something.
He gets sent away without his tart or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
He did something and then he gets sent away without the cake.
Yeah.
And then his older sister sneaks out her cake to share with him.
Oh.
And then Dolly catches them, and she's like overcome with emotion.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And I'm like, it is beautiful.
So beautiful.
Because they're crying together. Because he's like, I mean to be bad, and like I don't want you to take your cake. And she's like, it's okay, we'll have it together.
Yeah. And she literally she like asks the nanny. She's like, oh, can I go feed my doll? Yeah. And then so she like lies to the nanny to go and be able to do this, and it's so cute.
Her mind.
Really good. Really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So maybe country life is not all that bad.
Yeah.
Because she's having this moment with them, and who should show up but Levin, who has been called for by her husband unbeknownst to her.
Yeah. But she's kind of mortified by because
her
the whole situation is kind of embarrassing.
her deadbeat husband.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's so funny.
For him to be like outsourcing the work of husband is so crazy, and she's
not
like
even
humiliated
that
by
much
it.
work. Like,
It's literally go to the country.
Yeah.
What? And he said he promised he was like, at the soonest date that I can come, I'll come, and then he like never comes, which is like, what is he? We know he's up to nothing.
no,
Yeah.
he's up to drinking
He's
champagne,
cheating. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
oysters,
cheating.
and cheating
Yeah.
on his wife.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah, it's interesting. So Dolly, interestingly, you hear that like, or we see that Levin isn't really well liked in the social circle, but Dolly actually weirdly like likes Levin. It's kind of like
weirdly.
no, I mean yeah, it's like she likes that she kind of like appreciates his like childlike. She kind of like finds his eccentricities charming.
Yeah.
Like she seems to like really like know
Well, she's
his
like,
deal.
there's
he's
a
like-
good and honest man, unlike my cheating,
Yeah,
lying
say
ass
that.
husband
True,
who's
true.
so
Say that.
vain and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
extra, you know? Like, honestly, I mean, I feel like in contrast to her husband, he looks much better.
Yeah, when he first comes in, he's like, "Oh, hey, I'm here because Oblonsky told me to come just to check on you." And she understands that Oblonsky has like outsourced his husband duties, and she's really embarrassed. And Levin understands that. And then he like changes the subject, and she clocks that he's done this, and she like really appreciates that from him. She's like, his sensitivity, his like ability to read into situations like that, like that's what I like about him.
Also, that level of like social analysis
Like-
is what Tolstoy is doing like no other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The fact that like he's writing about her noticing that he's noticing that she's uncomfortable and changing the subject because like that's really amazing.
And it's like the kind of thing that you view and notice in your real life, but I would never even dare to try to start to write it.
No, because
and
I'm
like
like,
he
that's so
does it like
confusing,
so
but it's
easily.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're like a mother hen, you look great." And he's like gonna go help her out around the house, and he's like playing with the kids, and they're all loving him and having fun. And he's gonna look at the cows and all this stuff. And then she brings up Kitty a couple times. First she tries to, and he immediately changes the subject.
Wait, can I?
Oh, please.
Can
yeah.
I read something? Because like we've done so much like analysis into Levin. This has become the Levin analysis episode.
This is kind of
but this goes into like what we've been saying about him. The children scarcely knew Levin, did not remember when they had last seen him, but did not show the strange feeling of shyness and aversion towards him that children so often feel for shamming adults, for which they are so often painfully punished. Shamming in anything at all can deceive the most intelligent, perceptive person, but the most limited child will recognize it and feel aversion, no matter how artfully it is concealed. Whatever Levin's shortcomings were, there was no hint of sham in him, and therefore the children showed him the same friendliness they found in their mother's face.
Yeah.
T.
Yeah, I mean, he is Mr. Sincerity.
No.
Like, he actually has no pretensions at all. Like, he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hint of sham in him. I really like that phrase. But it doesn't stay perfect for too long because she does finally successfully bring up Kitty, and he's like, she's eventually like, "Why are you angry with Kitty?" And he's like, "Me angry? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not at all." And she's like, "No, you are angry, and like, let's actually hash this out because I don't think it's very fair to her. Like, you know, these were the circumstances of her decision." And they have this kind of like, for the first time, clear conversation, even though he's trying to leave the whole time. But she forces him to have this clear conversation about the stakes of the decision, and she frames it as like, this is how it goes for men and women, that I thought was like pretty, she spilled. It was very real.
It's great because it's like, it's like Tolstoy gets her to be like, so here's how it works. He needs that because he needs that.
He hasn't thought of that before.
Yeah.
Because everything is like so personal to him.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, like for you men who are free and can choose, it's always clear whom you love. But a young girl in a state of expectation with that feminine maidenly modesty, a girl who sees you men from afar, who takes everything on trust. A girl man does sometimes feel that she doesn't know who she loves or what to say. And meanwhile, he's like, no, she like, did that on purpose.
Like, he was like, if she really loved me, she would know.
Yeah.
Like, that's, yeah.
Because Levin has been, like, and she says, like, you know, you were away doing whatever you do.
Doing fuck off in the woods.
Yeah,
like,
and Vronsky was, like, around, courting her, or just, like, you know, being a part of her life in a way that you just weren't. And so, like, it's not so much that she, like, had the full estimate, and there would never be any circumstance in which she would, like, have the full estimation of both of you as men and be like, oh, I choose Vronsky over, like, it's just a different set of and yeah, it's like, I think that Levin is, like, really, like, you know, he obviously has a very active inner life, and so
that's savage.
And so
that is so shady. That's so funny.
He probably was like, you know, when the book begins, it's like him like he's like in town for the first time in a while.
Like, people are literally surprised to see him.
Yeah. No, they're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like, I'm here to propose to Kitty. Hello.
Yeah.
And like, he kind of, like, probably had this whole like idea of, like, of how it should go, because like, you know, she's so perfect and I'm, you know, like, and so, like, he didn't actually do courting.
no,
That's the thing,
he didn't put in the hours.
Yeah, like,
well, he did it in his mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he was having, like, manic pixie dream girl, like, you know, ideas of, like, but, like, he didn't actually. That's what Dolly is trying to impress on him here. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you didn't actually
do that.
Yeah. And, like, by definition, like, as a woman who has to, like, wait for someone to approach you, you can't have the full scope. Like, you cannot have the full perspective. Like, he knows, like, Levin knows what he's gonna do. Like, he can come and see her 10 times a week if he wants to. She just has to wait there. So, like, there's no way for her to know. Though, to be fair, when he was proposing to her, like, she knew, you know, that he was proposing. And she did turn him down for Vronsky. But it's true that she, like...
But she
didn't know Levitt. She was like, what?
Oh, this is rad.
I
wasn't expecting this to happen.
I've been having all these other suitors, and one of them's kind of standing out in particular, and like, oh, here you are now. Like,
She had no idea, like, what her choices were going to be. One thing that's so funny is that... just, like, when they start this conversation, Levin is like, how can you be bringing this up to me? Because you know what happened. And she's like, Dolly's like, what do I know? I don't know. Because, like, it hasn't been, like, publicly announced or anything that Levin proposed to Kitty. And he goes, you know that I proposed and was refused. And she was like, why do you think I know that? And he was like, because everybody knows. And she was like, no, I don't know.
No,
like, that is Levin's head. He's
it.
like, everybody knows, the whole town's talking about me, is how he thinks.
It's so funny. All of Russia knows that I got embarrassed. And
Yeah.
like, it's so the Jemima Kirk thing of, like, I think you guys might be thinking about yourselves too much. It's like, you might be thinking about yourself too much because you haven't told her. It's not like everybody, nobody's going around laughing at you back in Moscow.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
you're not, like,
exactly.
the laughing stock of the town.
Yeah.
So funny. But... yeah, he's upset enough that he ends up leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes it awkward.
Yeah, he has to make
which
he
is the
can't
thing
just be like, okay, whatever. Like, he has to make it weird.
In fact, it's like he can't even appreciate her with her kids anymore. Like,
Yeah.
one of the kids comes in for a shovel, and
Yes.
and Dolly's like, speak French because, like, I'm speaking French to you. And he's like, how dare she?
He's like, that's so fucking fake of you to speak French.
Exactly. He's like, these kids should not have to learn French. Like,
Can I say my crack ship, okay? And, like, my crack ship is Dolly and Levin because they just get each other.
real.
Yeah.
And where this, like, landed for me is in that scene when they're talking about the French because he's like, okay, he's like, he says, and why does she speak French to the children? How unnatural and false it is. And the children can feel it. Teaching French and unteaching sincerity. He thought to himself, okay, so crazy. Not knowing that Dolly had already thought it over 20 times and and to the detriment of sincerity had found it necessary to teach her children in this way. Okay, what a random perspective for these two people to have. I think they should kiss.
No, I think exactly.
Yeah, it's like I do really appreciate the dynamic where it's like Levin is this insane like hothead and she kind of is just like rolling her eye, like she really gets she's kind of able to tame him or whatever. Like, she's like, oh,
there you go. I know how to.
I already know you're gonna think this. Very, very mother hen, which is what he like wants his family life to be. In a way.
And even at the beginning of this section, she's like saying, "Listen." There's like a section where it's like she's like, "I'm not a Christian. I actually believe that we're reincarnated, but I'll be a Christian for my kids."
No,
which is like something that, and knowing how we get with Levin and his religion in this, like, and his whole. Whatever, all the struggle he's having with figuring out the meaning of life, like honestly, they could help each other.
No,
you know, like he could adopt her perspective. You know,
he could use that.
So doesn't she literally say, "Oh yeah, if I were Kitty, I would have chosen you" or something? She's like,
she says straight up, "I never liked Vronsky."
Yeah.
And I would have picked you. Yeah.
Well, real. Wow. Well, he leaves and he starts heading home, and then he runs into a peasant again, and he once again it's giving him life to see this old man, and then he sees the old man's son, and he sees that or like the old man lets him know that the son has just gotten married, and that's him with his wife, and they're like shoveling hay together on forks, and like they're so graceful and working so smoothly that he's like, damn, like I want that. he's like this could be me, this could be us playing kind of thing, like and he's like, wow, like they just like look in love, and they're like young and strong, and like they're like working with their bodies together, like he's just like lonely af, you know.
Yeah.
No, I mean he does this like I think like the word alien gets like used all the time, where it's like he is just like so emo. He's like so like I'm alone, like nobody can understand me, like look, I could never be a part of this like this beautiful joyous life that everyone else except me seems to have.
They start singing and he's like, wow, they're singing, like imagine I could just never sing like that, they look so happy.
He's thinking about how he needs to get rid of his burdensome, idle, artificial, and individual life, and instead have this laborious, pure, and common, and lovely life. Okay, King.
Because he's so sincere and dramatic, he like really is like, I'm gonna give up my life, which like, you know, to the credit of, you know, the kind of discourse between him and his brother is like probably not something his brother would do, like like he like is really sincerely like, well, I guess
this is it.
I guess I'm just gonna sell the house. Like, I'm gonna join the commune, and I'm just gonna marry a peasant girl, woman, and like that's gonna be my life. That's the answer.
I found it. I found happiness. Like I'll just live this simple, beautiful life. And
so
then
so
that lasts about 2 minutes.
That doesn't even last like a page and a half. Like that lasts like no time, guys.
It's just thinking about this, it's so back to the kind of types of guys thing. It's so giving, like when people are like, if only like I were as simple as like the people in my hometown, like then I could be happy. Do you know what I mean? When people are like, I would be so much happier if I were dumb. Because that's such a thing people say.
Exactly what he's thinking.
And he's so like, if only I were like just like simple and dumb and like and just poor. Like married this poor girl. And, like, we would just, like, be happy and sing together.
If only I didn't have to boss around the peasants and instead could just be one. Like, he's like...
No, it's... And he like, of all of the noble all the noble characters, he, like, has the most direct kind of, like, interface with peasants. And he, like, has this, like... extremely charged, like crazy, like relationship where he's like thinking about them all the time. He's like, I hate them. They're so, or he's like, not like I hate them, but he's like, they're all drunks and they're like, blah, blah, blah. But also they're so beautiful.
Pure.
Like I would give anything to just to
one of
happiest.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, but then, yeah, so he immediately gives up on that dream.
Yeah. After a night where he, like, through the night is, like, thinking, comes to the conclusion that he's really doing this. He's really throwing his life away and joining the commune. Then he sees
Kitty. He sees her. Exactly.
He sees her.
And they just make eye contact. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
But she's coming along. He's walking down the road. And she's coming along in her carriage.
Yeah.
And he sees
40 paces away from him.
Ooh.
On the grassy main road down which he was walking, a coach and four with leather trunks on its roof came driving towards him. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh my God, is it? Like, can I be mistaken? Like, I don't know. He says, inside the coach, an old lady dozed in the corner, and a young girl, apparently just awakened, sat by the window, holding the ribbons of her white bonnet with both hands. Bright and thoughtful, all filled with a graceful and complex inner life to which Levin was a stranger. She looked through him at the glowing sunrise.
At the very instant when this vision was about to vanish, the truthful eyes looked at him. She recognized him, and astonished joy lit up her face. He could not have been mistaken. There were no other eyes in the world like those.
Wow. It was Kitty.
Yeah.
It was she. It was she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then he says my favorite line of perhaps the whole section. He recalled with disgust his dreams of marrying a peasant woman.
When I said that before, I was joking. He's like literally like
That's the old me.
No, literally. The old me is dead. No, because females are back. You know what I mean?
No, literally.
Well, I'm like.
No, literally the incel the second he gets a girlfriend. He's
No.
like, that other shit?
No,
Never
I'm off that.
mind.
I'm
No.
off that.
Yeah.
That is too funny.
Oh my god.
This is one of the things that I'm like, is this good? Like it is such a beautiful scene in terms of like, you know, Levin obviously loves her, or like he feels very strongly. He definitely feels extremely strongly, and like this is like, you know, incredibly sentimental and romantic and like idyllic, and it was such a chance. Like it's like the conversation with Dolly ended with him being like, oh yeah, if Kitty's gonna be at the house, I won't be.
Like, I will not be dropping by. I do not.
Yeah.
He's so fucking dramatic.
Yeah, and yet,
Yeah.
by chance,
He's
at
like
dawn,
faded.
they lock eyes, but then I'm like,
40 paces away.
is this doom? Like, is this
Right.
good? Like, is this actually, like, would Levin have been better off? I mean, he would have made that peasant woman's life hell.
No,
made
that's
that
what I'm
woman's
saying. I'm like,
Hell.
I'm glad he didn't. He saved a peasant woman. He saved a peasant
Marked
woman.
safe. Peasant woman marked safe for 11. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, damn, you really almost joined the commune. You almost sold your house and joined
and
the
ran
commune.
away.
Or, well, do you think he meant that? Do you
No.
think he actually
No,
meant that?
not for a second.
Okay.
Something
Okay,
else
cool.
would have distracted
No,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's so fake for that.
Yeah.
Like, he's so, I mean, it's like what you said when it's like something goes wrong and you're like, okay, I'm not going out, I'm working out, like whatever. Like, do you
Yeah.
mean that? No, you're going to go out. You're going to not do your work or whatever. Like, he's just kind of like, oh, Kitty rejected me. That means St. Petersburg rejected me. That meant actually the entire nobility rejected me. That means actually, like, I think he was just throwing a tantrum.
He's just going through it. Exactly.
He is what he is. He's a nobleman. He was always going to go noble in the end. you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like he does this all the time, though. Some of my favorite lines, I think they come later, are when like something good happens to him and he's like, I'm never gonna be mean or like cranky again. He's like, now that this good thing has happened, like I'm never gonna be judgmental. I'm just always gonna be full of love. One page later,
just
he's
like
like,
me for
and,
real.
and by the way, that annoying ass man.
Incredible.
So that's where I'm like, I don't believe him about this whole
you're
dream.
right, you're
But
right.
of course, I mean, real to say, like, you know, would that have been like the more like politically like
or would it have made him more happy?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What do we think of that?
I think Levin finds unhappiness wherever he goes. Like, you were born into the nobility and you're unhappy. Why would then being a peasant make you unhappy?
No.
Yeah.
Like, you can do whatever
you
want.
He would be scything.
He can scythe right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can have it all.
Yeah.
He literally
He can scythe if he wants to.
We can scythe if we want to.
But he's made up these fake barriers in his life to scythe it.
It's like,
I can't scythe because Sergey's here. No, you can scythe.
You literally can.
You can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Sergey does not give a fuck.
He doesn't get.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
gonna be
your brother's
fishing
gonna make
anyway.
fun of you. Like, okay, that's just
You're
what
gross.
it
gonna
is.
do that anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
God, which loser do we catch up with next? I'm just gonna
no, and we're back to the biggest loser.
Yeah.
Honestly, like speaking of losers,
Yeah.
we actually are we're heading back to Petersburg where the biggest loser of all is
doing loser activities,
oh,
having loser thoughts.
I gotta say, I felt a little bad for him here. I pitied him a tiny bit. Cause he look like
That's human.
you know?
No, that's real.
Yeah.
We're back to Alexei Alexandrovich, who is Anna's husband. And
Last time we saw him, what was going on?
he just got bitch slapped in the face essentially by Anna, who said she doesn't love him, she hates him, she's scared of him. And that when he's speaking, she thinks of her lover.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So that was the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
Oh.
so he's thinking like, what am I gonna do here? Do I duel this guy?
Yeah. It starts with a really interesting an interesting thing where because Karenin, Alexei, he's like some kind of government bureaucrat, and that's like the core of his self-image, as being this like noble bureaucrat who's like working in the public sector.
And then, say that.
And,
the public sector.
But it starts off, the transition to Karenin starts off with this thing about like how he hates crying women and crying children. like when he is at his job and he's like trying to adjudicate or whatever and like hear petitions, he hates like when people cry. Which at first, like I kind of didn't know how to. It's a very strange and interesting detail to start with, because I was like, at first I kind of read it as like, oh, he can't. It's like he feels too deeply, but I think it's more of like a sense of alienation.
Yes,
or like
yeah.
a sense of like, it's a very strange hang up that he has.
Yeah. I had the same thing where originally I was like, oh, because it's described as a weakness. So I was like, okay, this is just something. I mean, this happens. I mean, a lot of people are like this. Like when someone else starts crying, they like panic.
Yeah.
But it's not. It seems almost more like contempt, or maybe like just like confusion. Like he's like confused rather than like, like if somebody else starts crying, you start to panic because you're like, oh, this is like really serious and like I'm upset with that or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that. He's like confused by someone being so overcome by emotion.
Yeah.
Weird.
I think Tolstoy even calls it an inner disturbance. It's like disturbing. He's like, what do I make of this? Like, oh, someone's crying. I do not compute. Like, yeah, he's very cold. I mean, this is like the same kind of characterization of him as before, but he's kind of incapable of like being overcome by emotion, which is why he can't experience like the type of love that Anna has been looking for.
Yeah. I like this, for me, made me think of like in the last section, and he does this throughout this section, when you see him going through like all of his different options for like handling the situation being his wife is cheating on him and told him, well, I don't love you, etc., etc. He's like trying to think of like the cleanest way to handle this, to like get out of it, to like maintain the life that he has. He's like resentful that he's even in this situation. And it makes me think of like in the last section when he was described as like having built a bridge to keep him over real life and like not wanting to descend into it by like having this wife who's in an affair. I think similarly, tears are the kind of thing that like pull you into like, okay, this is like a real life situation in a way that's too much for him.
Yeah. And it is like part of his central hypocrisy, which is that he wants the benefit, he wants to accrue the kind of like social capital that comes with like being this upstanding person, but he doesn't want to actually do what is truly part of the job of like being like a worker, like someone who works with the public is like dealing with emotion.
Emotions and like the facts of their lives.
Like because yes, I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but like he says, like he tells his office manager and his secretary, like don't bring in someone who's, or like tell people before they come in, like if they're crying, it will ruin their chances for their petition, which is like, okay,
horrible. But it really does echo the way he feels about his own situation, which is like, this isn't fair. I didn't do anything, so why should I be suffering? Like I didn't do the cheating, so I shouldn't be the one that's unhappy. Like I should get out of this scot-free, basically. But no, you're in it. Like you're involved in this, King. Like that's not how like human relationships work. Like when you care about someone, you're gonna be unhappy and disappointed, and like you have to be on that ride.
Not for him.
No, he wants out.
And he like, and like, you mentioned like the duel, like he has this whole thing where he's considering the duel, and it's like, it's baffling to him because it's like, he considers it as like, oh, this is what people do when they, like when your wife has an affair, is like you duel.
Like he's basically mulling over the idea that like, oh, people might be expecting a duel. Like, should I be calling a duel? Like, whatever.
Like, oh, but shit, I don't want to kill anyone. And I don't want to be killed. I don't deserve that.
He's like, that would be ridiculous. Like,
he's like
that's depravity, and actually that's beneath me personally.
And it's like, well, it's like the thing that because it's like that social expectation, like that's all, his primary fixation is on like the social arrangement and like what people think and like what you're supposed to be doing, and but it's lost on him that like, oh, men duel over women because they love them. Or, like,
and not that this is not a pro dueling podcast. We would never support a duel.
But it is like,
you would want your man to be dueling.
Of
in
course,
you want,
If my man's not gonna step up to the duel,
I'm not gonna call myself anti-duel right now. Like, I'm gonna be honest with myself.
Like he's like can't even comprehend being like passionate enough or like caring enough to duel.
Because he doesn't ultimately love her. So like, it's not, and it's an interesting thing as a reader because like I am also like, well, I would be scared of dying. I would be scared of like killing someone. I would be scared of like either shooting someone to death or being shot to death.
Duel
like, that would be scary. I definitely empathize with that. But then like the thing is like, well, it's not about it's like about the thing that the duel theoretically would be predicated on, which is that you're so upset that the woman you love is like, whereas like he's primarily sees it as like a humiliation, like a victim, like something that he's been victimized rather than rather than like betrayed romantically. And I can't remember which one of you said this before, but like he sees it as like something that has been done to him that he is not in. Like he doesn't need to be, like he has a choice. He thinks he has a choice about whether he's in this, and he's like not, he's in it, like, no. And now you have to face that, but he like is not capable, he's like afraid of it.
And further, like, you've been in this marriage, like you've done things that you've made decisions and you've acted in a way that has like led this to happen. Not to victim blame, as we've said before, but like you have a hand in it, and like to kind of abdicate that is silly and also depressing because you don't feel any emotion about it. Also, we get this image of the teeth. Again,
let's speak on the teeth.
And I would love to speak on the teeth.
Could you read it out? Or what?
He felt like a man who had a long aching tooth pulled out. After the terrible pain and then the sensation of something huge bigger than his head, being drawn from his jaw. So, one, I'm like, this is like at least the third or fourth time, maybe by part 3, that we're hearing about like a toothache, or that emotions are being compared to teeth. And I just found it so interesting that this keeps coming up for Tolstoy. And Heather told us a fun fact that I'm like,
Tolstoy had a toothache while he was writing much of the book.
I'm like, that's so crazy. He just had a toothache, and he kept being like, this is just like my toothache.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, this is reminding me of something.
Yeah. My toothache has entered the chat. Like,
wait, Tolstoy feeling his toothache. He's like, wait.
Yeah, hold on. No, but have you guys ever had a tooth falling out dream?
No.
Never?
Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe. It's ringing a bell. But
I feel like because people talk about it a lot, so I would have expected I would have had one by now.
Yeah.
Because people talk about it like it's every night.
Yeah.
No, not every night. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's that song by the Antlers, Every Night My Teeth Are Falling Out. That's my primary
And that's why you thought
entry
that's
into teeth falling out.
Wow. Now I'm gonna have to go and link that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. I have had them like several times, and they're so jarring and scary, and usually I'm like biting into something, and then just like I look down, and like either all my teeth or one tooth has just like come out in it, and I'm just like it's horrible. Yeah, so I guess powerlessness, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it makes sense. It tracks for Alexi.
lots of like
Alexandra.
loss of control kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
he's not going dual mode.
No, he's not going dual mode. Can I just mention something that was making me laugh so much in this section?
Please.
Okay. He mentions his enemies twice, and I'm like,
I love.
oh.
He's got enemies.
He says an attempt at divorce could only lead to a scandalous court trial, which would be a godsend for his enemies. Okay. Another one.
His ops.
Another one. Something. Well, he said, which would disentangle this whole affair, raise him in his official career, do harm to his enemies, and thus be of the greatest use to the state. Sir? You have a lot of enemies, though, to be fair. Everybody does hate you.
No, he does have enemies. We've heard them speak about him.
But
like,
but that's so funny to be like, this is for my haters.
Yeah.
To be like thinking about your haters as you move through life is crazy.
Yeah. And they're like, should I get a divorce from my...
No, exactly.
What will my ops think?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, my ops are gonna love this.
No,
It's like
my
a
ops are- the
crazy
haters are
reason
gonna
to
love
not
this
divorce.
one. That's kind of what it comes to.
Yeah,
It's like
he's
he
like
does
a-
all this thinking, and then he's like,
Yeah, he's like a divorce would look bad, so that's that.
Yeah, well, he kind of is like trapped, like he's like, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He writes the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he sends a letter to Anna and is like, listen, we're just gonna keep going as we've been going. I'll pretend what happened didn't happen. Oh yeah, and he tries to blame Christianity. He's like, actually, it's the Christian thing to do to like not break this bond. But that's kind of like a last ditch. Like this whole section is like someone who's like really deceiving themselves and like coming close to saying the truth, or like saying the truth and then completely forgetting he just said the truth. Like, because at some point he's like, the bottom line is, I just don't want her to be happy.
Yeah.
And and that is the truth.
He's like, she should be unhappy, and I'm not guilty, and therefore I shouldn't be unhappy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And what would make him happy would be if we pretended that this like never happened.
Yes.
And even like I remember it's something like, it's like this, the thought, he wouldn't put it this way, but he wanted to punish her. He wouldn't allow himself to think that he is like punishing her.
Mm-hmm.
But like what he does think is, what should happen is that she should be
punished.
Yes.
Unhappy.
Somebody somewhere should punish her.
Yeah.
Somehow she must suffer.
And perhaps I could play a little hand in it.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
He writes her this letter, and he's like, you better repent, like I'm convinced you've repented, and you do repent, and we're just gonna kind of go along as if nothing has changed. We're still married. We're still married. We're still married.
And exactly.
But I better not see Vronsky around. Like, I don't want to see
I better not see him in my home.
No.
Period.
Yeah.
And by the way, also here's some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enclosed are the money money you may need for expenses.
That was
say that.
And it's like I was like, why? I was like talking earlier about like why, even though like Karenina is kind of like in the right, it's like I think that like Tolstoy is like writing this to make him look very unsympathetic. Like he doesn't come across. I don't think it's like a modern thing that like he doesn't come across. Very,
no.
But it is kind of like the thing of like the kids would not like Karenina.
Right.
Exactly.
They'd know the sham.
He's
like
the shit. He's all
He's
sham.
awkward around kids. He's like doesn't even like his own son.
No, he does mention he doesn't even love the son. Yeah, he sucks so bad.
He really does, and he's awkward, and it's just it's very like kind of robotic the way that he goes about things. Opposite of his wife, who at this point like we're starting to see how crazy she's gonna get. This is where we start to see the cracks, and we see the BPD coming through. Let's be real about what's happening here. Let's unpack that conversation. Because she's kind of stressing out about what she's about to do. She's already seen Vronsky and for some reason not told him.
This girl, she is like, that's what, like, same thing she did with the pregnancy. She's like, how can I use this? I'm not going to tell him that I told my husband exactly what he's been begging me to do. Let me not tell him just yet.
Which could cause a life-threatening duel, by the way. Like, I mean, she probably knows that her husband's too pussy to duel. But
right. And it's actually not clear to me, can Vronsky call a duel? It doesn't seem like he can.
No, I think the husband, the wronged party has to be the one.
Because Vronsky's ready, we hear in this scene. He's ready to duel.
He
like,
wants to duel.
He's
like,
about
I
it.
would die for her.
Yeah.
But no,
you would not know that he would die for her based on the way she is thinking.
No.
Yeah, she's pretty consistently like, oh, Vronsky's completely over me. He doesn't even think about me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you think that?
No, what? Possibly in his actions, he keeps like following you everywhere and like changing his entire life to be about you. Like, girl.
Yeah. Which, by the way, it seems like right now Anna is at their second home, Alexi's at their main home, and Vronsky's like coming to visit her at the second home sometimes. Is my understanding.
Yeah. It's very if you even care.
No. Yeah. Exactly. I'll be here if you even care.
Yeah.
It's very like sitting in the corner and going.
Well, I mean, can we take it there? We were discussing this section, and we were like, wow, Anna gets very hoodahcore.
She's hoodah-coated in a big way.
Wow.
Listen, Hood Hive, Hood Rats, don't come for me. Hoodlums, don't come for me.
Well, we're comparing her to one of the greats of literature. Like,
so
come
true,
on,
so
one
true.
of the most. I
mean, she's captivating.
She is a captivating woman,
and I like her better than a lot of people in this book. I think, actually, yeah.
Well, but she does forget about her child at various points.
Happens.
And like, I love these moments where like she's like so occupied with like this torture of like what's gonna happen to her and what decision to make, which obviously involves her son, but that she's like, Seryozha, what about Seryozha? And then she's like, Anna suddenly becoming animated, remembering her son's existence for the first time that whole morning. Like, oh no!
It is crazy. Like the real victim here is this child. Like,
no. Yeah, I agree.
His parents
can't stand it.
Yeah, his parents do not care.
He's a pawn in their game. It's not right.
This is the big quote that was like really freaking me out. She said she remembered the partly sincere, though much exaggerated, role of the mother who lives for her son, which she had taken upon herself in recent years, and felt with joy that, in the circumstances she was in, she had her domain independent of her relations with her husband and Vronsky. The idea that, like, being a mom is a role that she took on, that she was exaggerating, is so her. It is so her. Yeah.
Well, and that she, like, is relying on her child, who is a child, for some of her validation and, like, affirmation and reassurance of like her validity as a person is like a really, really bad place to be in. And of course, like, you know, happens all the time, of course. Like the parentified child of it all.
Yeah.
But we get this scene immediately after where, you know, he's in his room and the governess is punishing him for something, and she goes in and she's like, I don't even care about the punishment. Like, whatever you're disciplining for. She's just disrupting the real parenting to go to him and be like, Seryoja, do you love me? Like, about to cry and like needing someone, even if it's just her son, to say that he does. And she just starts like weeping to him basically. And this was like a really sad scene for me.
It's tough. That's bad for her. It's bad for him. It's bad in general. Vronsky has no idea what the hell is coming.
I know, exactly.
He's like, me and this lady are so in love. He has no idea.
No.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, she's so overcome with emotion that she's like, I'm gonna write this letter to my man, my husband, not even her man, and just say, like, I'm done. Like, I'm taking our son and I'm leaving. Please forgive me. Be magnanimous and let me take him. First, she starts packing. She's like packing all the bags. She's like, we're going to Moscow. We're leaving. I'm taking my son. I'm stealing him away. I don't even care if Vronsky comes or not. She has such object permanence. Like, whatever's in front of her is like the most important thing in the world. I tried to love my husband, but like it's just not working. And then she gets his letter, and she's like, never mind. Turns out I can't leave because I'm trapped here. I'm gonna stay here. And also, whatever I was saying before, like the logistics didn't even work out because they weren't worked out.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Levin thing. Like, do you think she would?
No,
gonna go to Moscow.
Of course not. She was gonna get to the train station and be like, "Let's go back." Like,
but she is like absolutely furious that that Alexei has been like, yeah, we're just gonna keep going as we are, and here's some money. She's like, how dare he?
Yeah.
She's like, and to be fair, it is like nasty, kind of like. What would be right would be for him to like get a divorce and like give her Seryoza or whatever. But it also is so funny that she was like so set on having this like big display of like, I'm going to Moscow, and then he's like, actually, we're just gonna be normal, and she's like, that is so fucked
that's
up.
the worst. She's like, that's the worst thing you could have possibly said.
Yeah,
that's so true because she wants a reaction.
Yeah, she does. She wants to provoke him. Like, this is like, for him to come to her like really calm and be like, actually, we're gonna keep doing this, is like the worst thing you could say to a woman with her
of her mental state. Exactly.
Type.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my god. She's like, it is more offensive to me. Like, it's like more hurtful. She literally goes, my god, was any woman ever as unhappy as I am? like it's like, yeah.
God. Yeah.
Oh my god. But I do think she keeps the money.
Yeah.
Respect.
How else was she gonna get it?
Exactly. And then she decides, all right, well, let me go. Vronsky will know what to do. I need to see him now. I need to tell him, like, how shitty this is. Like, this has reminded me, actually, I don't even need my son. I need to just go to my man now. So she goes to this party at Betsy's house that she, by the way, had told Vronsky that she wasn't going to go to. So he was like, okay, cool.
My God. Yeah.
I won't go either.
Yeah.
Then she shows up and she's like, how dare you?
Where is Vronsky? Queen? Diva?
She's like, oh, so he doesn't give a fuck about me. Oh.
He's like, oh.
So what am I, chopped liver?
Probably doesn't give a
Girl,
shit about me.
you told him you weren't going.
Why would he go? Yeah, and then Betsy, being messy as she is,
she gets a letter from Vronsky, right? She gets a letter from Vronsky that's like, hey, I won't be coming. Like, his footman delivers it. And then Anna sees the letter that it's from, or Betsy's about to write a letter back to him. And she does write a letter back to him. And then at the bottom of it, Anna writes on her own message that's like, meet me in Breed's Garden at 6. Like, in front of Betsy. Betsy watches her do this. I'm like, you are so and she's like, crazy. Okay. You're not slick.
Yeah.
But she's desperate. And also, it's kind of like, I guess, how do you coordinate in that time?
Well, you need Betsy to do it.
Yeah, I always thought, like, when I read that, I remember being like, wow, like, meet me at 6. Is meet me at 6
That's
a thing?
Tough.
Yeah, like, it's like, I guess
it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then right, and then Betsy sends off the letter, and I was like, she's so funny for being involved in that. And then she's like, I'm gonna go make arrangements now, and you're like, okay.
It's like, she must know. She kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But they have this little party. They're in the garden. There's a character named Sappho who comes in.
Yeah, it gets a bit gay.
A little bit gay. Very interesting. And I guess kind of the most interesting thing here is like this like social dynamic between Anna and these two other young women who are being pursued, and she's like loves to be the center of attention and like admired by them, but also I think is kind of simultaneously jealous of them somehow.
Yeah.
And their beauty and the attention that they're getting.
She wants the attention that they're getting, but she also is like kind of like judgmental of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, this seems boring.
No, exactly.
She's just like incredibly restless. Like she just like has no idea like what she wants, and like, but that's not gonna stop her from telling other people what she wants.
Yes.
With a lot of confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell also if there was anything implied between the two girlfriends who are being like trailed by their male suitors, but like
I know, and they're old, aren't they? Too.
A little bit. They're like, yeah. I'm just like, are they supposed to be like lovers or something? Like, is that what the Sappho name was chosen for, or it's just like they are just besties?
I didn't think of that.
I don't know. I don't know if I was reading too much into it, but it's like one of them is like more mask and like tough, and the other one is like
stop.
I'm serious, right? Like he literally goes like, yeah, she was as soft as and loose as Sappho was tough and collected, or whatever.
You are so gay detective.
I know.
I've
been trained by like the internet to look for these signs. I'm like the queer baiting.
That's Gen Z coding.
Yeah. There would be a Reddit. There would be a subreddit today. I mean, yeah, Anna calls them the gayest company in Petersburg. So
well,
come on.
Well, yes.
Yeah. But she doesn't stay long. She wants to get out of there.
She's like, I need to see Bronsky.
I got to meet him in the garden.
Yeah.
But he's busy.
He's busy doing something I love so much. He's doing his once yearly life admin or something. When he goes into seclusion to like figure out, oh no, he does it 5 times a year, sorry, to clear up his affairs. He calls it doing the laundry.
I love that he calls it doing the laundry. That just absolutely sent me. I also love seeing like, he's not even paying his debts really.
Yeah.
He's just moving some money around.
He's rearranging his stuff and seeing like, who can I pay latest?
Yeah.
Like,
he's like shops, hotels, the tailor, like, I'm not paying.
He's like, that's not important.
That's not a debt to me.
Yeah.
Who will I pay? The gamblers, like the
scary stuff.
The bookies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay the bookies basically, and that's the only really urgent one. And
Mind you, why was he even? Why was he even in the mess with them? Why was he engaging with them?
I also love, like, there's a point where his friend, Petritsky, I think is his name, who's living with him, walks into the room and sees that he's at his desk
and like
writing,
leaves him alone.
He's like,
I know
what you're up to.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
like,
like,
I can't bother him while he's doing his laundry.
Yeah, I
And
got
then
it.
when he
Yeah.
comes back, he's like, "Oh, your laundry took longer."
Yeah,
than
no,
usual.
and he's like and he's like all fresh and like ready to go. He's like so happy that he's finished it.
Oh my god!
I mean, literally me on payday. Like that is so real when you organize all your stuff and you're like, yeah.
It's
yeah.
It's amazing to see the kind of like what it takes for him to keep up his appearances, and like the fact that like even he is like, I think we've been given evidence to believe that he's like the most noble person, or like the wealthiest kind of person.
He is wealthy.
He is super wealthy,
But he won't ask his mom for money.
No.
It's his big thing.
Yeah.
he's just proud.
Yeah.
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 That's a little Bushwick coded.
No, I'm real. Exactly. He's like,
Rich person who just like won't ask their parents for, like, they have a rule against asking their parents for money.
no,
Guys,
literally.
So they're broke right now.
I'm broke right now.
I'm broke
That's
right
so
now.
true, but that didn't stop you from buying like a whatever,
No.
$15 beer.
No,
and now you owe me.
No, exactly.
You have to leave that lifestyle behind.
And like you're letting your friends like squat with you and like whatever, but like you're still gonna like Venmo request them for their. Like, that's so funny.
But yeah, we're starting to get like a good understanding of how Vronsky is seeing his relationship with Anna, because obviously if we were to hear it just from Anna, she's not only saying that like Vronsky doesn't like me, she's saying he doesn't like me anymore. Like something has run out, like something has expired, like this is dying. Like it's this sense of like doom. It's like this thing that's impending that she knows is going to happen. She thinks it's already happening, whatever. And I'm like, okay, this was an affair. This started as an affair, so I believe you. Like, I believe you that, like, maybe this has lost its luster, whatever. We get to Vronsky, who has, like, a really straightforward code of ethics in his mind, which I appreciate.
And completely hypocritical one that I love.
No, I, like, love it. I'm like, if it makes sense to you, like, yeah.
So be it.
But he says his present relations with Anna and her husband were simple and clear. Yes. They were clearly and precisely defined in the code of rules by which he was guided. She was a respectable woman who had given him her love, and he loved her. Therefore, she was a woman worthy of equal and even greater respect than a lawful wife. This, again, like, comes back to this idea of him not following convention, but, like, having still a moral code that we've gotten from him throughout.
No, and he is, like, so, like... he would have let his hand be cut off sooner than allow himself a word or hint that might insult her. Like, he, like, takes her so seriously by this strange ethical code that allows him to, like, lie to men but not women. Or wait, never lie to men but only lie to women, or, like, whatever his rules are.
I support it.
No, yeah, exactly.
In the inverse.
Exactly, if it were backward. We do, though, get the slightest doubt, because I agree, Heather. I was like, okay, I mean, she is like really in her head, meanwhile he's like super committed to her. Where I feel like we get a little bit of a shade of doubt from him is he starts to talk about like this ambition that he had as a child.
Yeah,
like he used to be this ambitious person, and now he's turned down multiple posts because he wants to stay near Anna. And I
don't know why that was so. You're like multiple posts. More than one. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm scandalized.
I know, you're like highlight that.
Yeah. Multiple. But he like hears about this old classmate of his who's like, you know, got in this like really good position, and he's like, damn, like that could have been me if I hadn't been like so occupied. But like whatever, like, you know, I have the love of a beautiful woman, so I'm fine. Do you guys believe him?
Yeah, I think
I believe him.
Pretty sincere. Like, much like Levin. I think he's a very what you see is what you get kind of guy.
I did not believe him in this part. I like he sounds like, it just sounds like he's someone like trying to convince himself that he's made the right decision. You know?
I think, I think like Anna's perception of him as like he's driven by his passions, and like, you know, right now he's completely devoted to her, but like he could wake up tomorrow and be you know, I'm actually feeling a little different and
feeling ambitious.
All of a sudden my passion for ambition has returned. You know what
exactly.
I mean? I'm like, because it says his passion is like struggling even now with his love. I'm like, oh, okay, like, interesting.
I read it less like he's trying to convince himself that he doesn't care about ambition anymore, and more that he's like trying to understand for himself why he doesn't care about ambition anymore. I think it's more like he's like, this is a core personality trait of mine that like suddenly doesn't matter to me anymore, and like that's what he's trying to like explain to himself, is how I read it. Because he like kind of like does the work in his head, and then it says his eyes shone especially brightly, and he felt that firm, calm, and joyful state of mind which always came over him after clarifying his situation. Like, I feel like he kind of was like, why am I not jealous of this guy that I would have been jealous of 5 years ago?
Oh, right. I'm in love.
Exactly. I have the love of a beautiful woman.
I mean, who could be happier?
You know? Can't be mad at that.
Well, then, you know, he has this interaction with that guy he's jealous of, but blah, blah, blah. Most importantly, he gets his ass to Vreed's garden.
Because he needs to talk to his woman.
And she kind of gives it to him, and she's like, you know, like hoping that he'll match her freak kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, you see, like, what he's done to me, like, how horrible he is. And he's like, I mean, like, I guess, but, like, I'm glad of this. Like, because now you can leave his ass. Like, wait, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
okay, like, now let's leave.
yeah,
like,
he's like, he is like, he has his foot on the gas, like, the whole time. He's like, let's leave then. Like, let's just go. Yeah. He doesn't understand what's bothering her so much. And also this whole time he's thinking, like, I might have to do a duel. Yeah. He's thinking about that too. Like, that is something that's, like, really clouding the way he's thinking
on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's like, but what about my son? Like, then I can have my son. You didn't seem to care about that before, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the shifting expectations of it all. Like, one second it's like, if only I could leave behind this stupid son. And then it's like, her lover saying, like, let's run away. And she's like, but I need my son. Yeah. Like, it just is like, whatever's presented to her will not be enough. Like, she can't be satisfied.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like, her happiness is always, like, just out of reach kind of thing. That is so true. Well, so then they kind of leave it at, she's going to go back to him and ask for a divorce because she's like, I need my son. I refuse to leave with you. And then she does go to Alexei Alexandrovich, and she tries to ask him for a divorce, but not really. I don't think she actually even says that. She just tells him that she was planning to go to Moscow, but then she didn't end up going. And instead she's like coming to him and asking for his forgiveness kind of thing. Yeah. It's actually this part where he says, I never want to see like that man in my house. Yeah. Which like he's kind of giving like this like permission. He's like, can we please just keep it on the low? Yeah. He's like, it's fine. Like he's like, any other woman in your situation would be satisfied by this. Like you get to have an affair, you get to keep your standing, you get to keep your kid, you get to keep your other kid. Like, you can have it all. What's the issue? You can have it all. And he's like, why won't you just go along with this? And she's like refusing. He's like, be discreet.
Yeah. I think she even begins to say that she's pregnant, and he interrupts her. I'm pretty sure he like just doesn't want to know. Yeah. He's like, I don't understand how you could like be upset about having this much independence, like, and all of this stuff. And then that is kind of where they leave it.
They leave it at that, and we get back to the farm.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And Levin is
oh brother,
he's still brooding away. He has now seen Kitty, so he knows he's not going to go marry a peasant.
No, he knows that's over.
But he's still not happy, and he doesn't really know what to do about it.
No.
And eventually, he decides to go to this dinner party, basically.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
honestly,
he's like,
who among us, you know? Yeah. You know?
He's just like me for real.
And on his way to this dinner party, he like goes to this is like a random aside, but he like stays with this like music who's really rich, which I was like, is that possible? But yeah, he's like this rich, innovative music who has like a beautiful farm, and he like loves it. He's really into it. He's like, look at you guys.
He's like, damn, you're using tools and shit.
Yeah.
No, he's like so
and like new techniques and like whatever. And making like, lots of money.
He's like, music's usually like break tools. Right. Like y'all don't really treat tools respectfully. So it's like,
you guys have no respect for tools. God. Yeah, wow, I would hate Levin, wouldn't I? Okay.
But he goes to the dinner party of this friend of his who's noble, who has these like really progressive ideals, but doesn't necessarily live on them. Like he's like
Spiosky.
Yes.
Is his name.
Yes, exactly. He's like believes in like he's an advocate for like freedom for women, but like he doesn't like really let his wife work.
Yeah. He does have all these ideals, but doesn't really, I guess, kind of similar to Sergei. But no, Sergei is a little bit, no, well, this guy's also in the government and like doing all of the whatever bureaus and councils and whatever else. But yeah, I think Levin doesn't fully buy his perspective. And he also like, he says this thing about how like he feels like he can only get into like the waiting room of this man's thoughts. Like he doesn't fully feel like he's getting to his full personality or whatever, his like real perspective.
Levin kind of has an inferiority complex.
Big time. Yeah.
Noble people.
Yeah.
Hugely so. Maybe why he likes spending so much time with the peasants. Yeah. You know?
Where he can feel like he's better than someone.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I'm like, I see right through your shtick. You think you're better than the peasants, which is why you get so much enjoyment out of
hanging with the peasants.
Exactly, because you feel like a weird freak around the nobility.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. But that's on him. Like, he's the one who chose to go out into the country. No. He can't blame anybody else.
That's his own.
He dropped out. One thing that's so funny is that Sviasky or one of his friends is really trying to set him up with someone else, and he's struggling so hard not to look at her boobs. No! He's the whole dinner he felt painfully awkward because his sister-in-law sat facing him in a special dress put on for his sake, as it seemed to him, cut in a special cut in a special trapezoidal shape on her white bosom. The rectangular neckline, despite the fact that her bosom was very white, or precisely because of it, deprived Levin of his freedom of thought. And then he says at another point, "Do you teach in it yourself?" asked Levin, trying to look past the neckline, but feeling that wherever he looked in that direction, he would see nothing else. He's really stressed, and he doesn't care. No. He wants Kitty.
This is what I'm saying.
Look at her boobs.
Crazy because earlier he said, he was as little capable of marrying her as of flying into the sky. He does not want her. Why is he so stressed out about her tits out? I'm sorry, that's so crazy.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh.
And meanwhile, you're you don't want this woman. No. You just you could have her. You could marry her if you want.
Yeah, but he wants Kitty.
He simply does.
Then they get into this kind of convoluted conversation about farming and peasants. That's hard to follow, I think, because initially when I read it, I was like, oh, there are two sides to this argument, but they're not. It's they're everybody is saying something slightly different from each other, and it doesn't seem like it's two sides where I can be oh, this is the progressive analog and this is the conservative analog, you know?
Yeah. And no, I mean, yeah, I also I think that I also remember kind of zoning out during this during this part, but it is it's an interesting window into the contradictions that Levin has, where he is in one sense this conservative who doesn't believe that the music's they contain the potential for civilized life.
Yeah.
And yet, on the other hand, is insanely preoccupied with it. Kind of devoting his entire life and mind to these social problems of his day.
Yeah, he is so, like we said last episode, so libertarian coded, so I did the research coded. There's different levels where you have a guy who's okay, we need to educate them so that they can do better, and he's not that. We don't. No,
they don't want that.
But then there's another guy who's serfdom. We got to go back to serfdom, and he's not that.
No,
and
exactly.
He's a secret third thing, which is that the peasants are part of the land ? And they are need to be farming Russianly, and I'm gonna write a book about it.
Does that mean?
And we're not sure. That's why he has to write the book on it.
Yeah, it's very I have a theory. He's in the Discord.
No, exactly. He's on Reddit. He's a Redditor.
Yeah.
He wants to be in the discourse, and he has this sort of intellectual kind of inferiority thing where he wants to sort of he wants everyone to know that he is smart.
Yeah, that he figured out this problem, and he's the first to ever think of this solution.
Yeah, and he figured it out in a way that they couldn't figure it out through going to school and going to your little meetings and whatever.
He wants to be dispatched from real America.
I actually went out and interviewed 20 real Americans. Yeah. I went to the real America.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I went to a diner and
in Iowa, and
actually, my dad worked in a factory.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, there are some amazing lines in this conversation.
Oh my God.
Our worker knows one thing only: how to get drunk as a pig, and while drunk to break everything you give him. They're really. The pro serfdom people are crazy. They are no holds barred.
Sorry, there was another one that was so crazy. He considered the Russian music as occupying a transitional step of development between ape and man. And yet, at Zemsto Collections, he was most willing to shake hands with musics and listen to their opinions.
Yeah.
Now, now what the hell?
Yeah. No, it is, like, the politics in the book are really interesting because they're very unflattering to anyone who, like, you know, all the communists are, like, drunk and lazy. No. And then all the, like, you know, all the, like, elite, like, you know, regressive, let's go back to serfdom people are monstrous and, you know,
cruel and vain.
And most of all, no one's happy.
Yeah. And by the way,
most of all, these people will never find happiness. Which is really interesting because, like, it's not, you know, it's interesting that, like, Levin, like, is considered the Tolstoy, like, self-insert because, like, Levin's kind of thing is like, let's hear all sides. Let's hear from both sides.
Let me hear from both sides, and then I'll make the consensus.
Yeah.
I will say also, Tolstoy was obsessed with teaching poor kids how to read.
Yeah.
He loved that.
So at least there's that.
So they disagree on that note.
I will say one thing about this conversation. It made me, when I was reading it, and I need to go back and find out if this is true, but it felt like he had read something in the newspapers or, like, in the journals at the time.
That he wanted. It felt like that a lot. Often.
No, right? And was like, let me weigh in on this. This conversation.
There's so much, like, reading journals. Yeah. There's so much, like, like, political journals. Like, did you hear this? Did you read this article?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you read
Leo
this
would
article?
love to live back then.
Yeah. Everyone was reading articles.
I would be like, oh my god, did you read Levin's article on the farming in the journal? Like,
on the farming in the journal.
And everyone would be like, no, he never finished it actually.
Lol.
Well, at the end of this section, his other brother comes for a quick visit. Nikolai.
He's not doing well.
Speaking of drunk communists.
Yeah.
Oh. But he does kind of call him on that concept. Or on his whole, like, book, because Levin's been, like, working on this theory of the special Russian music, and it's kind of nationalist or whatever, like, we're not like Europe. And Nikolai is like, you don't want to set up anything. You simply want to be original, as you have all your life, to show that you don't simply exploit the music, but do it with an idea. Period. Damn. Nikolai, call him on it. Like, that's my favorite line of the section, probably.
When your drunk brother drags you like that, that's crazy.
You know you have to switch up your game if your drunk brother is dragging you like that.
You gotta change things. Yeah. Well, that's where things end. And then Levin seems, like, pretty depressed. Like, he kind of is, like, he, like, runs into someone on his way to go to, like, he's gonna go do research for his book, I guess, so he's, like, he's gonna go do research, and he, like, runs into
one of Kitty's cousins.
Literally, like, what's up with you? And Levin goes, there's no more cheer in the world.
What?
And then, I mean, you should read, like, the last
we have to read the last paragraph.
Yeah.
Go for it. Adlan, please do the honors.
Levin said what he had been really thinking lately. He saw either death or the approach of it everywhere, but his undertaking now occupied him all the more. He had to live his life to the end until death came. Darkness covered everything for him, but precisely because of this darkness he felt that his undertaking was the only guiding thread in this darkness, and he seized it and held on to it with all his remaining strength.
The end.
He's so goth. Like, he's so
mind you, the undertaking is writing about
the
relationship between the peasants and the land.
Yeah. It's so, like, he's such a dramatic
He's so much.
person.
Yeah.
this
Again.
part I'm like, okay, that's so real. It's like, I guess you gotta find something to occupy yourself till death.
Really?
Yeah.
Do
Like-
no, literally, he's like, again.
Like-
Every day he wakes up, he's like, again.
Another one?
Another one?
Like,
Yeah, and I mean, like, to be fair, like his brother showed up and like is dying. He's,
No,
like,
yeah.
he's
Death
like,
is
damn.
surrounding.
Yeah, he's
And even
like,
though he's now decided, like, he knows he wants Kitty, he doesn't have her or even necessarily have a way to get to her. Like, who's to say if he proposes, she won't say no again, you know? So,
He could show up. He could go
Yeah.
say hi.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
come
he's done
on.
it before.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, he's done it before.
Yeah.
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 Go court her for a sec.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, he's depressed right now, so we won't hold it against him.
Yeah.
Well, Adlan, we like to end each section with a couple of tiny Nabokov questions
Okay.
that are like small details, and the concept behind it is that Nabokov would ask these like really annoying ass exam questions
Okay.
that were like really specific, and then people would have to answer like, oh, what color was like so and so's dress.
Whoa.
I like I ran out of blue sticky notes, so I don't know which ones I was my color coding system is now wrong. So I might have to
I can ask.
what
I've
do you
got a
got?
question.
What do you got?
So what food did Levin eat with the peasants?
Wasn't it like? Well, it was like mash.
At one point it's mash.
Yeah.
It's just
And-
mash.
It's
Yeah.
like mush or mash.
It's
Yeah.
straight up mash.
Yeah.
And then isn't there also there's a part where what's the beet soup?
Borscht.
Yeah, isn't there borscht in there somewhere?
He definitely eats some kasha.
Okay.
Right.
And
right,
kasha
right,
is a
right.
little like grain thing. Like
Uh-huh.
I've had it, kind of delicious.
Yeah.
I'm with him. He's like,
Yeah.
this peasant food is way better.
I know. He's
Yeah.
like, this
It's
is
like, I
so
wish I
good
just
and
had
authentic.
kasha. Yeah, this authentic food. That's so funny.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of kvass. Didn't he drink? Aren't they like drinking kvass?
Yeah.
They drink all kinds of fermented whatever.
Yeah.
They stay drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another one.
Oh, what do you have?
What? So like when Sergei Ivanovich gets to Levin's house, there's something that he hates being in the house. What is it?
Flies.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
hates
Which
flies.
is fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That is so valid.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a random one. When Levin and Dolly are talking in her country house, one of the kids comes in to ask for something, and that's when she says ask in French.
Hammer? Their toy hammer?
So close.
I don't remember.
It's a shovel.
Shovel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any off the top of your head for us?
Let's see. What's the shape of the cloud that represented Levin's desire to throw it all away?
Is it a shell?
It was a shell.
Yeah.
But then it dispersed
Yeah.
into fleecy soft clouds.
Yeah.
Come
A
on.
blanket.
Shedding your hard shell
Yeah.
in order to go get the woman you love.
Aw,
Yeah.
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I feel like we've basically already done this.
Oh
but
yes, wait, you're so right.
Adlan, tag yourself from this section. Who are you in this
I
section?
mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
As if we
No,
haven't discussed.
it was
I
foolish of me to
mean,
ask. It was foolish of me to
yeah.
ask.
yeah, no, I really relate to Levin.
I love it.
Levin. He's such
Yeah.
a goth. He's
Yeah.
so goth. He's so like intense and like
Yeah.
my life is over.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The part of me that died when Kitty rejected me has died.
yeah.
Oh,
That is
he's
second.
he is so
Yes, King.
crazy.
And being like, oh, I got rejected. I gotta go to the house and like pick up my dumbbells and devote myself to like the land and maybe I'll just
physical
never get
activity
married. I'm just gonna scythe.
I'm devoting my life to scything.
Yeah. Like, damn.
Yeah.
So like it's just hard not to be like like it's hard not to sympathize with him because he's like always feeling such strong emotion.
He's always feeling despair.
Yes,
Like
he's like always, or he's like I saw her face and like meaning has returned.
yeah.
It's like, bro, yes.
He's like, bro,
Yeah.
yes.
He is dead serious, and that's what I like about him. He's so fucking for real.
He's a certified lover boy.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite, like the part where in the very beginning where like he like sees Kitty ice skating, like or he's like, he doesn't know whether she wants to skate with him, and then she's like, yeah, I'll skate with you, and he's just like, this is the best. This is the best day of my life. Everything is life is beautiful.
Like, I have something to live for.
Like
it's so true.
Like, goddamn, dude.
No, he's down horrendous.
Yeah, no, he's just like,
I love him.
He's living life on 100%.
Yeah.
Respect.
Ugh.
Well, that was an incredible, Adlan, you are such an amazing guest.
Such a good guest.
Thank you for having me.
You are our official Levin ambassador, I think.
Yeah.
And you changed my POV on Levin, honestly.
We love that.
I'm empathizing with him
Glad
now.
to hear it.
Whoa. Any book club we do again in the future, like, we need you, Adlan. We need you.
I'm down. Everyone out there, go mow some grass.
Go scythe.
See what that. If you're feeling like you don't know where you are in life, like what you're supposed to be doing professionally, professional life, personal life, romantic life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm lost. I don't really know what I'm doing. Just mow some grass. Go
mow.
outside and mow some grass.
Go woof.
And hey, leave your phone at home.
Yes.
Touch grass. Wow, he really said touch grass. He was
I didn't even
first
think of that.
to say touch grass.
Literally went and it was like, I'm gonna devote my life to grass.
All I'm gonna do is touch grass.
Yeah.
I'll never do it. I'll never touch anything else.
We just unlocked this book. Like,
wow.
Actually, it's perfect note to end on. We had to end there.
Wow.
Love you all.
Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.